State Oversight Commission is calling on the Erie County Sheriff's Office to review how it handled the death of an inmate more than 2 years ago. Sean Reardon was arrested in the town of Tonawanda in June of 2022 for an outstanding warrant for driving without a license and criminal impersonation. He was remanded to the Erie County Holding Center in lieu of $5,000 bail and was then dead less than 2 weeks later on his 30th birthday. The State Commission of Correction is tasked with investigating inmate deaths in New York and recommend reforms if needed. And in this case, the commission released a report saying Reardon's death might have been prevented if he was given proper medical care while an inmate at that holding center. Reardon, the second of 8 inmates to die since Erie County Sheriff John Garcia took office in January of 2022. At least 57 Erie County jail inmates have died since 2005, with the most recent on June 1st of 2024. That's according to a report by the Investigative Post. And for more on this story, we bring in the editor and executive director of Investigative Post, Mr. Jim Heaney. Jim, thank you for being here tonight. The death of Sean Reardon may have been preventable. This is according to new reporting from Investigative Post that you laid out today. What are your biggest takeaways from what the state had to say about this case, Jim?
Well, it was potentially it didn't have to happen. He was going through alcohol withdrawal. He had some pretty severe symptoms, and the state commission ruled that if he'd gotten the proper care, he'd probably still be alive. I think what's noteworthy on this is not only the particular details of this case, but there was a lot of criticism of the county under Tim Howard's reign as sheriff, the number of inmate deaths, and the pace of deaths have not gone down under John Garcia. He's out from under some federal oversight, but the body count continues to climb.
An attorney for the Reardon family called this another shocking example of medical and deliberate neglect of inmates. You mentioned the sheriff. What are Sheriff Garcia, what are the county saying in regards to this report coming out about this case?
Crickets. Garcia's office refused to return phone calls from my reporter. Jeremy Toth, the county attorney, said because there's ongoing litigation, the family is suing. One of several families that are suing over deaths of their loved ones in the holding center. Nobody from the county is talking.
You have mentioned that this is an ongoing issue. You mentioned that. Have things gotten any better, or what needs to change here, Jim, you think?
Well, if you just look at the number of inmates who are dying in the county jails, things are not getting better. As I mentioned a minute ago, the pace of deaths has actually increased a wee bit since Howard left and Garcia took over. Beyond that, what needs to happen, I don't know.
Is this involving the staff there? Would upgraded facilities be any better? There's been talk, of a new holding center, a new jail at some point. Do you think this would factor in any way? Or is it just the approach that's being taken and then the quote neglect that the state? Yeah,
well, there appears to be, not all 57 deaths are the result of neglect.
Right.
But it appears that over time, and when we did our reporting several months ago, a theme was lack of adequate medical care. And whether or not a new jail would help in that regard is unknown. Clearly, the county is balking now at the prospect of building a new jail because the cost could be up to $700 million. And both the county executive and the sheriff are saying that's too expensive. But I think there's a consensus that the holding center in particular is inadequate and something needs to give.
Yeah, this is an issue you continue to follow. You can find the full reporting on this case and all the reporting from Investigative Post at investigativepost.org. Jim Heaney, thanks so much for being here tonight. Appreciate it.
Thank you.